ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. In continuation of reading Japa book, Srila Prabhupada once told the story of how Mahatma Gandhi had a fight with his wife. He told his wife to get out and never come back. Later, he heard a soft knocking on the door. He opened it to find his wife standing on the stove. He said angrily, "I told you to go." She humbly replied, "I had nowhere else to go." We should be like that with the holy name. Question: could you please summarize the first four texts of Shikshashtaka as they relate to chanting Japa? A. The first verse of Shikshashtaka, Cheto Darpana Marjanam, prescribes Shraddha. Blessed by faith, we begin to regularly chant Krishna's holy names. Then, as we advance, we see the need to improve our chanting by removing anarthas and other impediments to advancement. This is described in the second verse of the Shikshashtaka, Nam Akari Bahuda Nijasarvas Shaktihi. At this stage, we are trying to chant properly, but because we see our inability, we begin to feel humble, as described by the third verse of the Shikshashtaka, Pranadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Sahishnuna. That humility fixes us in the understanding that we are dependent on Krishna's mercy, Nishta. Then, fixed in chanting and dependent on Krishna, we understand the need to cleanse the heart of remaining material desires, as described in the fourth verse of the Siksashtaka, Na Dhanam, Na Janam, Na Sundarim. That attempt by Krishna's mercy gives rise to Ruchi. From Srila Prabhupada, now when you chant Hare Krishna, if we chant mechanically, then the effect is different. I have already given you 10 kinds of offenses there are in chanting Hare Krishna. So, mechanical way of chanting is also another offense. So, offenseless chanting, of course, in the beginning, neophytes, we are apt to commit so many offenses. But we should be careful that the chanting should be offenseless. Then we shall realize that Krishna is present by his name. He is present. You will realize and you will have the same effect as you expect by meeting Krishna personally. You can see Krishna and you can hear Krishna because Krishna is absolute. There is no difference between seeing and hearing. That is the absolute sense. People give more stress on the eye. Oh, can you show me Krishna? How can't you hear Krishna? Why do you give? This is also one sense. That is also another sense. Do you think by saying you will understand everything? You are saying so many things daily. Do you understand? So this is all foolishness that. Can you show me? Now we have got so many senses. So perception through my sense, because he is absolute, the same effect. Either you see him personally or you hear him. So hearing is so perfect, and one who is very much eager to hear about Krishna is very expert because hearing is knowledge. So if we hear Krishna about Krishna, his name, his fame, then Krishna is present before us. Lecture Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya 22.3134 New York 1967. A Krishna conscious person is not afraid of any place, but he wants to chant constantly in all circumstances. Letter to Charudas, September 10, 1972. The world is full of dangers in every step. Just like in the ocean, there is danger at every step. But if we take shelter of the boat that is known as the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, then this great ocean of danger becomes as harmless as a small pit, and we shall be able to cross hundreds of some such pits simply by chanting the holy names of the Lord, the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Letter to Allen Ginsberg, December 21st, 1968. One must come to understanding that the holy name of the Lord and the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself are identical. One cannot reach this conclusion unless one is offenseless in chanting the holy name. As such, one is understood to be an eternal servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead if he considers himself as an eternal servant of the holy name, and in this spirit distributes the holy name to the world. One who chants in that spirit without offense, he certainly elevated to platform of understanding that the holy name and the Supreme Personality of Godhead are identical. Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi 8.16 Purport. Krishna is there in the topmost Goloka Dhama, but still Golok Dhamini Nivasati. Although he is living there, Akilatma Bhuto, he is everywhere. He is everywhere. That is Krishna. Just like we are sitting in this hall, we are not in our apartment house. Krishna is not like that. He is in the Golokanamani, Nijadhamani, in his own planet. He is engaged in his occupation. Somewhere he is tending cows, somewhere he is dancing with the gopis. He is going on with his enjoying occupations, but still he is everywhere. He is within your heart. ईश्वर सर्वभूतानां हृदय से Arjuna tishtati. Not only within the heart, he is within the atom also. So Krishna is everywhere, and if you are devotee, then you can catch him. This is the secret. Just like the electricity is everywhere, electrons. One who can tackle the electrons, they can talk without any direct connection by electronic method. Thousand miles away. Just like radio message, television message, so similarly Krishna is also everywhere. Just like the sound wave is going on. As soon as I produce one sound, immediately within a second, the sound goes round the earth 7 times. So if a material thing has got so much power, just think how much power God has got. So He is everywhere. Simply you have to catch Him, and He is also ready for being caught. Yes, if somebody wants to catch him, suppose you are a devotee, if you want to catch him, he comes forward 10 times than you desire. He's so kind. Therefore, we have to simply receive him. Shri Shri Radha Gokulananda DT Installation, London, August 21st, 1973. So I stop here for today's reading and just summarize. So here we see Srila Prabhupada instructing his disciples through letters and for us to like about chanting without offenseless, how it has an effect and impact. There's no benefit of chanting mechanically. If we are chanting mechanically, it also falls under one of the of 10 offenses. So he had quoted one of a beautiful example of Mahatma Gandhi, where Mahatma Gandhi has a fight with his wife, and he asks his wife to go away from him. Then we see that after a certain time, the wife comes back, and when he asks why she's here, she says that she has no other place to go other than him. So here, Prabhupada is correlating this situation like this is how the situation should be one's devotee. That is, the devotee should not have um, any other place to go other than taking the shelter of the holy name. So we should come to such a situation that we have no other way and no other hope other than taking the shelter of the holy name. And the question was asked about to summarize about Shikshashtaka Varsha with related to chanting, and the first 4 verses of Shikshashtaka Varsha describes about the chanting process. It begins with the Shraddha and gaining faith on Krishna's holy names, and one starts chanting the holy name. Gradually, as the one, although is starting with an offense chanting or a mechanical way of chanting, gradually he tries to improve the chanting in removing the anarthas and try to become more advanced. As the devotee processes, there is the stage where he turns to chant offenseless, but he comes to know that he is unable to do so, and that situation turns the devotee to be humble, and he tries to be depend more on Krishna's holy name. And this, when he gets fixed into the humility position, that is where his chanting improves and he tries to chant offenseless. And at this point, when he becomes nishta, he then doesn't desire anything from the material, and his focus is only on chanting the holy name of Krishna. So there are certain other instructions given by Prabhupada to his disciples as through the letters mentioned here, and how he focuses on like um, there is no need to have any sense perceptions, and there is nothing like one should only see Krishna, then you can understand him. Their senses are senses, either by eyes or by hearing, we can perceive. I mean, doesn't matter, but he emphasizes more on hearing because through hearing one gains the knowledge, and through gaining the knowledge, one can understand the Krishna's nature, form, his pastimes, and that is where one develops attachment to Krishna and can start developing devotion towards Krishna. So rather than having an eye and questioning about have you seen Krishna or do you see Krishna, it's better to hear about Krishna and um, take the shelter of the holy name. So I stop here for today.